is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show. This.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This.
There's just one place to get our biggest discount on a 2024 Acura. Take up to $10,000 off. $10,000 off at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 Acura dealer in the USA.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, InterMiamiCF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Over 2,000 Toyotas are in stock and on their way to Toyota of Hollywood. Get our lowest price on every Toyota, including Corolla, Camry, Highlander, Tacoma, and RAV4. Like a 2024 Corolla LE, $19,975. Need credit? If you earn at least $500 a week, we want to say you're approved at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Welcome aboard, folks. It is time to rock and roll. It's the second Wednesday of the month, and we are here at beautiful Toyota of Hollywood. Yes, I was just talking to Herbie right now and having some fun here at Toyota of Hollywood. Come on out, 1841 North State Road 7. We'll be out here for a couple of hours having some fun. And of course, I got a beautiful red Supra in front of me. I got the Crown also in front of me. So a lot of different vehicles. So come on out here and check it out at Toyota of Hollywood. This Crown is super, super nice, dude. Really like it. Really, really sharp car. Anyway, so a lot of things to talk about Dolphin-wise. Dolphin practice. No, it did not pass out today. People were all asking me, how you doing, Big O? You hydrating? Everybody was very nice, man. Very nice. People were concerned. Some of you listeners out there were concerned for me and asking if I was hydrating and all that kind of stuff. So very nice. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me in your thoughts. And thank you for those of you that send me a DM on Twitter, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, wherever it is that you reach out to me and wish me the best. Thank you. That was very, very nice. I was just stupid yesterday, and I paid the price. You know, you do stupid things. Stuff is going to happen to you, and that's exactly what I did. But I loaded up on that water last night, had a great dinner, and then woke up this morning, and as I was doing a little prep for the show, I drank a bunch of water again. And so, and then I went to Chick-fil-A today and had a chicken biscuit. Okay. Only had one of the breads. I didn't have the whole biscuit. I only had the top portion of the biscuit with the chicken, just so I could cut out at least half the bread. But just to get something in my system, because I didn't really have anything ready at home. So I was set to go and ready to go. And then when practice was, actually, the outdoor practice was done because 35% of practice went inside towards the back end. Those of you that went to practice today, you couldn't stay for the whole practice because the rest of the practice was inside and they kicked everybody out. And so we got to walk all the way. But when we were done on the outside portion, you know what I did? I even tortured myself and drank a bottle of Aquafina. As much as I hate alcohol, I never drink any water when I'm at camp. But just because of yesterday, because I normally drink enough water before I get to camp. Because you guys see it. I drink a ton of water, man. I do drink a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? So I usually hydrate. I'm usually well hydrated. What I did yesterday was just rare, and paid the price. But today, feeling good, feeling re-energized, in honor of the Fallon show right here. There you go. So I figured I'd foster a little emotion there since they were on yesterday. Got the new album coming out. And they're good live, by the way. If you've never seen them, I saw them in what was it? The Fillmore. And they were really, really good. Really good. I like Foster the People. Anyway, so I saw that last night. And I saw the disappointment of man. We were looking good up to nothing. My bet was looking really good up to nothing. And what's that? I know, man. Jesus. Wow. And then Tata he waited too long to get replacements. He didn't stay attacking, and it just kind of, caught up to them. And it was rough. It was rough last night. That was a rough watch last night, man. That one hurt. I know most of you don't give a shit about Inter Miami, but it bothered me yesterday. That one was rough. That one was rough. I got to blame Tata for some. I mean, the end of the game, and Suarez too. How do you not score in those instances? You gotta score, dude. So that's where I can't blame Tata either. It's like, geez.
I almost feel they said, we already have our League's Cup. Let's just take a rest and let's go back and win the MLS.
Yeah, but man, we're looking good, man. We're looking good yesterday, feeling good. And then I just ended up feeling like absolute crap at the end, dude. That kind of hurt. Yeah, it's not too cold today in here. No, I just took it early. No. Then it gets crazy. Yeah, no. But but it goes the other way. Then I'm going against the bet. If anything, I would have to bet the other team. If anything.
Yeah, I did the same thing again today. Now I put on 3 and I pushed up 2. Right. So you probably didn't hear my voice when they probably thought you were talking to yourself.
Sure. But yeah, no, once I got the initial bet, I went with it. And sorry if those of you went along with the ride with me yesterday on the wagering side. What do we got here? Steve Chapman is number 1. Oscar Rojas is in Melbourne. Jamie Zorrilla out in San Jose. NorCal out in Martinez, California, I think. He's out there. He's puffing and puffing and puffing. Captain Saki out in Tarpon Springs. Ray Sosa says we can say Tata was one of the reasons Inter lost that game. Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Cosa Nostra doing good. So thank you, sir. He says UEFA Super Cup today, a la Madrid. Brian Walters, I forgot to tell you, Big O, my woman is a crypto investor, and she's getting a little more older clients now. Really? Wow. That's nice. I think, old people, it takes them a while to figure this shit out. And then the other thing is, old people are set in their ways. And they're not really flexible, and they don't open themselves up to changes. Now, as we've talked about, some people don't have to. If you have your money, you're set and all that, you don't need to change. But as I tell everybody, Brian, the second you learn exactly what's going on with our money, and then you go and learn about Bitcoin and read the white paper and learn exactly what Bitcoin is, then it's like that scene from the Blues Brothers when the light comes shining through in the church, and Belushi goes wild and he starts doing the somersaults and all that kind of stuff, that's exactly what will happen to you. It'll all come together and you will understand what's going on with our money and what Bitcoin is and why it is what you should be, hedging to. The real screwed up part, as you can see today, our government was sold, I think it was like 10 million in Bitcoin, something like that. Stupid shit. Which is money that really can't help them that much because it's not a lot of money for a country like this. And two, this is money that's going to, X so many times over. Why would you do that? But it's just stupid, right? And we just have people that don't really understand what's going on. And then some people are slowly but surely getting it. And they're explaining it. You know what really hurt? Banks. Government hurt banks like they normally do because then the banks have to then charge us. But first of all, they kept the zero rates forever, and then the banks took out all these loans, and now those loans are bad for them because the rates went through the roof. Now they're not making any money, so they get screwed. And then now, the world is changing towards digital, and you then shut down the bill that allows banks to be crypto holders, because I can't expect all of you out there to go buy cold storage wallets and learn how to do all that on your own. That takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of patience, intelligence. You got to read, you got to understand what you're doing, all that. And that's so new to everybody. But banks are not. You're so used to banks holding your money. Why don't they just hold your crypto too and make your life easy? Because that's what you're used to. You can just go on your bank account app and just purchase your crypto right there, and it goes right into your account. How simple is that? Why don't you help? Banks are dying. Help them out. We need to have synergy, and we just don't have synergy. Everything that we do. And so it just doesn't make sense, a lot of the stuff that we do. And we don't assist our entire place everywhere. People, businesses, the government. So what are you going to do? But I can see some old people finally adjusting and figuring it out, and maybe listening to some of their financial advisors. And a lot of those financial advisors weren't pro-crypto either because they don't know anything about it. It's like the media. You can't really read 99% of the media talking about crypto because they don't know anything about it. They don't invest. And so it's hard for you to educate me on something I know way more than you ever will. It's really, really difficult, man. So that's why. And then so for older people, it'll be even harder. So there we go. Smash it, Brian. GP Trap is in the house. Guillermo's out in Port St. Lucie. Gordon Shumway. Dennis Akers. I think we mailed out your package yesterday, Dennis Akers. I think that was one of the names I remember reading and sending out. AP Ryan, thank you, sir. Chef Jew is in the house. Subscribe, like, share, and donate. There you go, Chef Jew. Thank you. And remember, you can donate Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which that makes us super happy when you can make one of those donations. Nico Jones, staying cool. Yes, sir. Flipper 13 in. Fernando Perez. Thank you, sir. Just buy Bitcoin ETFs like iBit. Exactly. And that's another great point, Flipper, that if it's not a bank, an ETF, that makes it easier for you. You're understanding what I'm saying. Let's teach people about crypto, but let's make it easier for them. You know how hard it is? Hey, you got to learn about crypto. Now go get a cold storage wallet. Learn how to buy crypto, because sometimes it's not on money. Sometimes you got to learn how to buy it on the fraction of the crypto. And that confuses the shit out of people. Okay, so I want to buy 0.01 of Solana. Okay, what does that mean? And people don't really understand. Well, that's 1% of Solana is what you're buying, or 1% of it. And that's another thing. People think it's like stocks. So if it's $25, you got to spend all $25 in order to buy it. No, you can buy $5 of the 25. You can't do that with a stock, but you can do that in crypto. You could buy a portion of it. People don't even know that. They think sometimes that you got to buy, Bitcoin. Yeah, no, dude, I don't have 60,000. How am I going to buy that? Well, no, you don't have to buy 60,000. You can buy $6 of it. Oh, really? But wait a minute, how does that work? So you got to, we got to make things easier for people, and we just don't. And the government that's been in place the last 4 years, just like the prior ones that were in place, were anti-crypto and still are. That's why Kamala has to kind of decipher or not differentiate herself from the old fart, because as far as I'm concerned, she's going to be a cancer to crypto, just like Biden was. So we live, we learn. We will find out. What else do we have? Eric EJD is in the house. Tombstone, thank you, sir. To Jesse, watching from Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the year they can't deny us. We got to stay healthy, bro. They stay healthy, and you got a chance. You got a chance. That's for sure. That's for sure. All right. Today, practice. Tyreek, Jeff Wilson, Mostert, Ahmed, Anthony Schwartz, Tanner Connor, Jordy Fortson, Jonnu Smith, Anthony Brewer, Teron Armstead, Benito Jones, Calais Campbell, Anthony Walker, David Long Jr., Kendall Fuller, Jalen Ramsey, Ethan Bonner, Javon Holland, all did not practice. This was a really...
Just watch Tua and Skyler throw the ball to each other?
Yes, basically. I mean, it's just they got practice tomorrow against the Commanders. And I feel bad for fans that go out there, because the last couple of days they haven't even had a full practice outside. They leave for a portion of it to inside, and you can't. It had nothing to do with the rain. I think it had to do more with the heat. You know what I mean? And so the last 2 days last 3 days they haven't hit nearly as much. It's been light practices.
Almost like it's a season now that the preseason games actually started. Now they're
because tomorrow you'll hit, and then Saturday you'll hit, and so they're like, okay, 2 days this week to hit, and then next week you'll get 2 days again. No, because only one of these 2 games your starters are going to play some. You understand? So you might have the dress rehearsal in this game, and then next week they'll play one series and they're done. So they're not really playing 2 games.
So you'll practice them hard in the 2 practices against Tampa Bay, but not in the game.
Right. Against the Commanders and against next week is Bucks. Is the last one? It is?
That's it. Yep.
Oh, and you get the week Jags. Off. I'm sorry, it's the Jags.
Oh, the Jags first week after the week off.
Jags,
that 1 week, but in between.
I was going, wow, they play the same team in the preseason and then the regular. No, it's Jags Bucks. And so now so you'll get those practices, and those will be, and in their case, like the starters, if you do because I think they'll do although Waddle, if he's not ready yet, maybe they hold off a week to do the whole. Oh, again. See, here's where I'm talking out of my ass, and anybody else is talking. Do we know what the Commanders want to do on Saturday? So those 2 coaches have to talk about it and say, are you playing your ones? Because I'd like to play my ones. Oh, no, we want to do our dress rehearsal next week. Oh, okay. And then you got to also call next week's opponent and say, hey, are you guys doing your dress rehearsal this week or next week? And then you've got to figure out, do I get my guys against their ones this week or next week? These are things that we're not privy to these conversations. We don't really know. But you don't get a lot of times to hit anymore. It's what I told you. It's anybody that tells you they have a great feel for the team, they're full of shit.
Yeah.
Full of it, because you can't. There's no way. There's not enough hitting to know if your team is good or not. I love it on paper. Now it's got to translate to get it done.
And I never asked you this. Did you find it odd? And I know there's injuries and a little bit of dinged up and things, but that Chop and Julian Hill and some of those players, you were mentioning that they were looking good in practice and everything. Were you surprised that they didn't play at all? They didn't even dress.
I know. Yeah.
Did you find that?
I found it weird.
Okay. I was just wondering
but again, you hit during the week. You're happy with them hitting.
Exactly. So I guess they saw enough then, right? That's kind of saying, okay, we saw enough of what we wanted to see from Chop. We don't need to see it against the guys that are going to be at Walmart next week.
Dude, Chop looks good outside, inside. He looks good in coverage. Like you're looking at a guy and you're going, you know what? Okay, this guy's prepared. And he talked about how these guys are taking him under his wing yesterday and all that kind of stuff. He's prepared, and I think that's what it is. It's like, okay, well, we've seen that, like, you hit, you're good. Well, why put you out again? And you'll hit again this week against the Commanders, and and then you'll have the dress rehearsal game, and so we'll get enough from you already, And I think that's what's going on. Look at Kamara; he didn't practice again today. He came back to practice today. And that's because he had missed, before. But here's another guy that has looked pretty comfortable too, It's been pretty cool, man. Patrick Paul, he just looks like he's just fitting in. It's pretty cool. His draft class is making a nice transition. But we'll see. We'll see how everything translates as we get to the real hitting and things like that. Let's see. Lolo is out in San Antonio, Texas. Chris Duquette reminds everybody, smash that like button. Let's go smash it. People don't truly understand the beating these players put on their bodies. It's a lifetime of pain. Yes, that is very true, True Fin Fan. Let's see. Let's go. Checking in from LA. Think Blue Dodgers, and he's waking and baking. Good for him. One-Eyed Jack is in the house. All is well, my friend. All is well. Thank you for being concerned. Let's go through some of the, again, not a big day in practice today. So I'm not, you guys know it. There's a couple things I want to talk down because there's some misinformation out there. We'll correct that in a minute. Mohamed Kamara, like I told you, returned to practice today. Julian Hill wore the orange jersey. And by the way, he had a nice playlist. He was strong today. I like him. Cam Smith was practicing again today. So that's good. Cam Smith has shown that he has his moments where he can play. Cam Smith's problem so far has been that he cannot stay healthy because of one thing or another. Let's hope he can finally get over that hurdle so the kid can continue to practice. There's no resemblance of Noah Igbenogany. Okay, this is just bad luck right now with the injuries. Noah's problem was he really couldn't play. There's a huge difference. Okay, but Cam at least practicing, doing a little dancing, by the way. Saw him do a little dancing today, so he was in a good mood. Robert Jones, I got to tell you, Robert Jones has improved as a player. I've been impressed with Robert Jones in this camp, I think. And his thing is pass protection. He's terrific in run blocking. He can maul people. His thing is pass protection. He struggles with that. So does Lester Cotton, too. And it just seems like he's gotten better there, too. A little more agile, too, Robert Jones. Like what I see from him. Practice, like I told you, about 35% of it. The back half, 35% of it was indoors. They signed Robert Cooper, the former FSU defensive tackle. He wore 94. Tier Tart, the coach explained today, basically he wasn't a scheme fit. So they let him go, gives him an opportunity maybe to latch on with somebody else. Malik Washington had a couple of drops today. I like Malik Washington, but I'll tell you one thing I don't like, and I've mentioned it early in camp, and now I'll mention it again. Too many drops. Too many drops as a pro. I don't think this was an issue with him at Virginia. But so far in training camp, I think Malik Washington has dropped the ball too many times. That's just me. Okay? That's what I'm understanding. Jack Driscoll is better than I thought. He played better than I thought he practiced. He is looking much more comfortable. He is looking agile. He looks like he could get to the second level and he can move. That is something very important for linemen in this scheme. They want guys that can move. If you can only play inside a phone booth, you're going to struggle in this scheme and you're going to limit what they can do. They need you to be able to move. And I'm looking at Jack Driscoll and I'm looking at him playing multiple positions and I'm looking at him also moving very well and very comfortable in this system now that he's been in his second year. Jalen Phillips practicing again, okay, and practicing 11 on 11s too today, which was cool. Again, not a big physical practice or anything like that, and we don't need that from him at this point in time, but it is very positive that he's back on the field after practicing yesterday, because these are the things you want to see. You want him to mount practice after practice on top of it. You don't want swelling and delays in the rehab, as you know, right? And you've seen it many times. You guys have seen it too. Sometimes guys come back and then they start practicing and then they get reactions from practice and then there's swelling and stiffness. And then all of a sudden you can't practice 2 days in a row. You can't practice 3 days in a row. Sometimes you got to go on and off until you're able to do it on a consecutive basis. The fact that he's done it 2 days in a row, that tells me that the Achilles is responding well to the practicing. That is very, very important. That's how you check the progress with Jalen Phillips now as a guy that is coming back from injury. All right. Let's get to a subject that I saw this bogus website. Not that I follow them, but it comes up on my timeline and I ripped them for it. And, just in case anybody else says it, here it is. NFL Notify. Okay. It says NFL notifications, NFL Notify, and it has 49,000 people following it. Okay. So think about it. 49,000 people follow these clowns. And there's concern that Dolphins wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. could be taking a Will Fuller retirement package after signing a mysterious injury popped up and he has yet been able to run a route for the team. There's real concern that he may not even play this year. Okay, all of those things are all flat out lies. See, the difference between yours truly and NFL Notify and maybe other people out there is that they have no access. They really don't have any insight. They really don't know anybody in the building. Well, I know a shitload of people in the building. I don't know one, not two, not three, not four. I know a shitload of people in the Miami Dolphins building. Okay? So I can get information in all kinds of ways. And I can tell you, as I've told you already for a couple of weeks, have I not said that Odell Beckham is fine? So nothing to be concerned about with Odell Beckham right now. It's pacing what they're doing. There's no hurry to put him out on the field. He knows exactly what he needs to do. He knows the route trees he has to learn. That's it. I can't tell you exactly what I know because that's part of this game, unfortunately. You're sworn to secrecy on some things. And who knows, maybe a couple months from now, I can release that information and talk about it and say, look, this is what I knew. But it's just, I'm telling you that there are no concerns behind the scenes with Odell Beckham whatsoever. None whatsoever. So that's the only thing that I can tell you. He will play. He will start the season. He will be there week 1. I guarantee you he'll be there week 1. But there's There's they're pacing it. I mean, Tyreek Hill sometimes misses half of practice and then goes out and runs 40-yard bombs. He did that yesterday. He did it last week too, where he didn't start practice and then comes out of the building because maybe he's doing some other stuff inside or whatever. He doesn't need a ton of practice. These kind of guys don't need it. Waddle, if this was a game week, I guarantee you Waddle would have played. Yeah. But how do you need to see Waddle in middle October? I mean, August? No, right? It's August 14th,
sure don't.
right? How do I need to see Waddle running a route or two? I know he can run plenty of routes. Don't need his ass to run any routes. Run all the other guys that we're trying to figure out who's who. I don't need to see Waddle and Tyreek, and Odell's been at this also for a while. He's a veteran, he knows. He's not going to be playing a ton. And there are no issues. It's just they're pacing him. And they have no hurry whatsoever, no desperation whatsoever to play him. So I'm not sure what the hell is going on. And if anybody's telling you anything different, they don't know jack shit, dude. Jack shit. They just don't. All right. By the way, we are here at Toyota of Hollywood. The Summer Super Saver Days are going on. Over 2,000 vehicles here, man. Over 1,200 new Toyotas in stock. They've got no payments for 90 days. They've got 2.75% financing available for 4 full years. 0 down. Come on out here, 1841 North State Road 7. It's on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan Street. Tell them that Big O sent you. Promise you they're going to take care of you. One-Eyed Jack is in. Dolphins 13. Says, okay, that's real good information to know. Thank you. Between Cam and Noah. Thank you, sir. Steven Gonzalez in. Aquavision. Chris Duquette says, is it more of a sign and stash? Wait till we need him, then release the Beckham? Well, it's more that they don't need to see him right now. You know, let me give you another thing that you need to understand what the Dolphins are dealing with that maybe they didn't have to deal with in the past, that some other teams have to deal with at the moment. When your quarterback is not an accurate quarterback, i.e. Lamar Jackson, i.e. Josh Allen, or you have a young quarterback, then maybe you want to get Odell out there a little bit more. But when you've got a guy that lives off of accuracy, your Pat Mahomes, your Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers, these kind of cats, they can make these adjustments to their new players real quick. I'll give you an example. Let's have some fun here. Let's give you a fun analogy. I've done this analogy before. So, Sean, you're 12 years old, Sean Stanley, and you go down to the park and you're going to play some pickup football. And there's maybe 8 of you. Maybe there's 10. Maybe this is a pretty good game today. You got 12 or 14 people. Okay? So all of it, you could have a 6-on-6, 7-on-7. Usually in that group, how many quarterbacks are there? Maybe one, right?
Oh, just me. One.
The other guy, he might be able to throw the ball, but he doesn't really know where it's going, right?
Yeah, he's hitting houses and cars and everything else.
Yeah, he's you go deep, and he's just overthrowing you by 5-10 yards or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he has an arm, and you're playing with him. But, everybody wants to play with the guy that has the accuracy, right? And so if you notice, that guy, right, everybody, this has happened to everybody. So you've got 11 guys, Sean. But there's number 12 is playing basketball by himself because he doesn't know anybody in the neighborhood. He rode bike from another neighborhood or something because he saw there was life at the park, so he stopped. He got his basketball. Yo, hey, dude, you want to play? You ever done that? We've all done that, right? And the guy's like, me? Yeah, dude, we need one more. Come on over. And, if you've ever done that, you also feel compelled to play because they only need one more. You don't even want to be the dick that says no, right? So you play, even if you don't want to. Most of us want to play. But you play, right? That kid's never played in the park. Never played with the guy that can quarterback. First time out, he tells the kid, can you run? Yeah. All right, I want you to run a 9 route on the outside. Just take off. I'll lay it out there for you. Never played together. Boom. Lays it right out there. Pop. Big completion, touchdown, whatever it is. And you know why? Because that guy has that quality. He's the guy that can walk up into the bar and have 4 beers and then go like this at the dartboard. Bah! And he'll be right around the center because he's got that touch. And when you are a Tua, when you're an Aaron Rodgers, when you're a Tom Brady, when you're a Bob Greasy, when you're a Drew Brees, when you're a Pat Mahomes, when you're those kind of dudes, that accuracy is not an issue, and timing, all you got to do is just see the way the person runs and you can just lay it out there. It's not a big deal. Now, if this was Skylar Thompson or Mike White, your starter, now I'm a little bit more concerned. Now I need more reps with those guys because I don't trust you. I can't trust you to be pinpoint accurate all the time. That's the reason why I laugh at the idiots that start throwing out Ryan Tannehill as an option. This is an offense that gives you maybe 2 seconds to throw the ball. Ryan Tannehill is a guy that wants to use 4 seconds to throw the ball. You've got to make a really quick read here, and you've got to be deadly accurate. And sometimes you're going to have to also, lead a receiver. These are things that he can't do either. There are characteristics that players have. And some people, media or whatever, can't decipher that and can't figure out that the guy you're suggesting doesn't have those skill sets. And the guy you're concerned about in Odell Beckham, don't worry about it. He's playing with a guy that has special skill sets. Tua Tagovailoa is just like Liam Neeson. He has a special set of skills. And accuracy, anticipation, ball placement. Those are his A1 deadly skills. That means he can adjust to me running a route and to Tyreek in back-to-back downs. He's going to know how to dial it down for me and dial it up for Tyreek. That's all. So these aren't things that are a concern for the Dolphins. Not Odell and not, oh my God, a lack of playing time. That's just a couple of practices and done. Overall, he's going to hit him 98% of the time because, of course, nobody's going to be perfect because there's no such thing. You're always going to be off once or twice or whatever. Quarterbacks are going to do that. But more often than not, that dude will be on target. Nothing to be concerned about. So that's the other thing to tell you about the whole Odell situation. Anybody telling you anything different, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. That's just the way it is. Let's see. Oh, this offensive scheme is a difficult scheme to learn. How has that affected this process of signing free agents after losing Hunt and Connor? I don't think that is. People don't come to a place because it's a difficult system to learn. They come because they want to have success. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. What it has to do with is, I was talking with Alf today from 5 Reasons, and we were, and I think I've explained it to you guys. This is a Mike McDaniel thing. They don't put a lot of priority in spending a ton of money in the middle of the line. Even Aaron Brewer at $7 million is a cheap center. An elite center, you're going to be paying 11, 12, 13, 14 million dollars. You're going to be paying a high price for an elite center, and they're not even paying that. They didn't pay it for Connor Williams either. They got a guard to convert. And when Robert Hunt got to a $20 million salary, I said, no thanks, we'll find somebody else. And maybe that's what it is with Jack Driscoll and some of these other cats, that they just find other people. You know, the Patrick Paul thing, they had to do it because they know that both their tackles are gone next year. So Aaron Armstead and Kendall Lamb are retiring. So they had to prepare for that, and they went and got a tackle. They'll spend on tackle, but, man, they will not actually be spending a lot on guard and center. It's like that they feel as teachers that they can find guys and make them better and make it serviceable for them in the middle. That's just kind of the way it is. It's interesting because the Saints were the opposite. The Saints did everything to have a great center and guards because they wanted a pocket that would never crumble in front of Breeze. And I thought that they would do the same thing. No, they're more focused on their tackles than they are their guards and centers. It's interesting. It's just everybody does things differently. That's it. Let's see. I've seen Justin Herbert miss wide open receivers with nobody around for 10 yards. Yeah, definitely. Even though you don't have to say yes to joining them, you're kind of forced to being on their scrimmage game. Yeah, exactly. Yes. I mean, I'd rather play than be shooting by myself the basketball. It's more fun if you go join everybody else and play the game. Thanks for finalizing my fantasy draft tonight. Okay, I don't know what I said, Chris, but I hope it helps, my brother. I hope you win it all, my friend. Remember, again, you win lotteries, maybe the Bitcoin from Swan, your fantasy league. Remember the requirement. You got to take Sean to dinner. So just saying, Chris, when you win the championship, got to take Sean to dinner. Okay. John Padilla says California is in the house. California. Let's see. That's true. Outside of Liam Eichenberg, they don't really invest heavy amount on the interior. No, and even Liam Eichenberg was drafted as a tackle, and it was before these guys. Huh? He's a Flores guy, right? Yeah, it's a Flores guy. So it's weird, man. It's weird, but that's everybody does things differently. They view things differently. And if they feel like the guard center position, they can coach it up and they don't have to go spend elite money, then that's what they want to do. And we'll see the results. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you what's going on with Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's see what we got going on. First of all, let's go to the market. And the market is doing nicely. It started off a little slow this morning. Now the Dow Jones is up 177 points. The S&P is up nearly 16 points, and the NASDAQ is barely up. It's not even a tenth of a point. Bitcoin is right under 59,000, 58,980 in a beautiful buying zone, just an absolutely gorgeous buying zone. And they're in a lot of things moving. Toncoin is moving. It's at almost 9%. I'm not a Toncoin guy, but I know that thing has had one hell of a run. And those of you that invested in Toncoin, you are winning big time. Outside of that, there really aren't a lot of big movers right now. I'm seeing in crypto. Let me see here. Ave's up 7.5%. Let me see anybody else with a decent move right now. Oh, nope. Now, checking there, the top 100. Those are the ones that I gave you that are pretty much the decent movers at this point in time. Jawan Taylor from the Chiefs was carted off the field today in practice. This is some scary stuff, man. You just hope that you can survive the preseason. I don't know how serious it is. I haven't heard yet a follow-up to it, but getting carted off is never a good thing. Hopefully he'll be all right, because that's just that's a hell of a loss. And then the J.J. McCarthy thing, he's out for the season. And remember, we were talking about meniscus never being that bad, right? Well, he announced Wednesday, Kevin McConnell announced Wednesday, McCarthy's knee surgery revealed that the quarterback required a full repair of his meniscus. That's bad. So that'll sideline him for all of 2024. We'll see what happens. Now, Sam Darnold is now in line to start for Minnesota, which this becomes the break of a lifetime for Sam Darnold, because he's been much maligned. He had a really good year to kind of reset himself with San Francisco and kind of learn and find himself a little bit more. And this will be an opportunity for him to build his value back up again. We'll see if he can. You know what I mean? I haven't ever been a Sam Darnold guy. I haven't really trusted him. But the J.J. McCarthy injury, man, how bad was that meniscus? It was probably so bad. I'll tell you this. This is what went on with his story. And let me fill you in on it, because I think this is kind of part of the trick here. Let's see. Hold on a second. I know I have the story here somewhere. Here we go. Here we go. So this is why when they talk about the complete meniscus tear, the issue with McCarthy, and this was the decision that they had to make with this surgery, because this was the prior article I read last night. Today, they just kind of tell you that it was a full meniscus repair. But here they explain it, and I wanted to read it for you. But of course, the internet is moving kind of slow here because there's some interference in this place. You gotta kind of. Oh, you know what? I should use this other one. Let me see if it pops up, and it'll give me a little faster. There we go. It'll give me a little faster usage. Usually. There we go. I knew it. All right, so Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy made his preseason debut Saturday night. Might be his last. His torn meniscus will either be trimmed or repaired. The former points to a quick return. The latter would likely knock him out until 2025. The problem with the quick fix is that he'll have less meniscus for the rest of his life, which could be a problem sooner or later in his career as a pro athlete. The repair should, in theory, make him as good as new. While it's unfortunate for both player and the team, it's not nearly the same as the late August knee injury suffered by quarterback Teddy Bridgewater 8 years ago. There's no reason to think McCarthy shouldn't be as good as new by next season. So they didn't have to rip out or tear out the meniscus. What they did was keep it in place, sew it, and then obviously let it heal completely till next year. So that way he has all his meniscus and he doesn't end up with bone on bone, because the meniscus is what's saving you from bone on bone and all that kind of stuff. And then you get all the itises, the arthritis, the tendonitis, there's one more itis that I'm missing, but there's like 3 of them that affect you. And so that becomes an issue. This allows him to repair the meniscus in whole, so that way he can heal completely and then have his full meniscus and have full range and have no soreness and those kind of things. Because once you start taking it, you can't. Although I will say this, I just saw a brand new thing that they know how to regenerate meniscus. Now, they know how to regrow the meniscus. So we'll see if that it hasn't been completely approved, but that's something that will help all kinds of surgeries and avoid replacements, because that's what happens with hip and knee replacements. It's because the bone on bone wear and tear, it just gets to a point where it doesn't work anymore. because what you had separating the bones and allowing it to flow no longer exists. And so now it's just bone and bone rubbing, and then that's where you get all the soreness and everything else. So it becomes scary stuff. Let's see. So true. People keep falling for the scare tactics of the need clicks, no inside podcasters, the O-line, the backups, or he's injured and they're hiding it. Bullshit never falls. Yeah, no, I know. It's we have too many people out there that want to be insiders and they have no access. They don't talk to people inside. It's like, really, how can, you could guess? Well, we all can do that, but can you really provide some real insight? This is what I tell you all the time. Okay. Whoever you're listening to, do they ever break any stories? If they don't break any stories or enlighten you on something you didn't know about, then why are they going to start now? You know what I mean? And that's where 99.9999999% of the time, I bust people with that. It's like, okay, who is it? Is it legit? Oh, no, it's something I saw on Facebook. Well, then, dude, why are you following that? Tua's going to shut up the doubters this year yet again. It's the Samoan Snipers year, baby. I'm with you, Lenny. Luis Medina's in the house. Big O, I have footballitis. I feel you, Tombstone. We have it too. Dolphin 13 says, great analogy. All you have to do is do your job, the route, and catch the ball. That's it. Brian Landis has elephantitis of the nuts. So your nuts are riding shotgun now, huh, Brian? I got it. By the way, yesterday was 42 years or whatever of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I kind of forgot about it at the moment. I saved it that morning, but then, something happened to me and it kind of threw me off my game yesterday. But yesterday was like 42 years, I think it was, for Fast Times at Ridgemont High. God, it's funny because last weekend I left it playing. My wife was sitting there and I left it playing. I pressed it and I went into it, right? And she's like, oh, you don't have to leave any TV on. And I said, oh, don't worry. I'll be right back. I'm going to go get something. And I went to the corner, came back, and she was watching it and laughing and just watching. She hadn't seen it in a while. And so we just sat there and watched some of it, I think we watched like 45 minutes of it or something. It still holds up. Still holds up. When I came back from my thing, she goes, hurry up. It's the Phoebe Cates scene just for you. Oh, my wife is a trip. And I did tell her, well, hey, you got good taste. That is one hell of a scene. Then she gave me the look. Hey, man, you served it up, not me. Okay, so, but yeah, funny movie, man. Funny movie. And then today, I think I saw, what was it? Pump Up the Volume. Today was the day for Pump Up the Volume also. I think that's what I saw. Let me see. Where is it? And here it is. The Pump Up the Volume soundtrack was released 34 years ago today on August 14th, 1990. And good movie with Christian Slater. It's got its moments, right? But it's a excellent soundtrack. Love the soundtrack, dude. Good soundtrack. And it's interesting. The girl and Christian Slater, they both are in the same movie a couple of times. In this movie and in Face Off. If you saw Face Off with Travolta and Slater, the girl, the redhead, is the same girl that's in Pump Up the Volume with Christian Slater. So I don't know if those two were kind of like, or Christian Slater got her in a face-off or something. You know what I mean? But it's kind of interesting that both of them would be in two completely different movies, in Face Off and in Pump Up the Volume. There's a little silly nugget that, some of you may not have realized. Most of you don't give a shit. But hey, there's a lot of useless information in here. But seriously, I love Pump Up the Volume. I like that movie. I whenever I run into it, I got to stop to see Shep Shepherd putting in the reports. It's important to see Shep Shepherd doing his thing. And the fact that the reporter was named Shep Shepherd, it's just, it's classic right there. Love it. Love it. Hard Harry. I don't know how many of you have seen that movie or know anything about that movie, but it's a fun movie, Pump Up the Volume. You should watch it. A couple of young actors in that movie, too. I'm kind of glad I live so far away and avoid most of the phony clickbait and scuttlebutt on our fins. I'd much rather count on Big O's real takes than any real fin info. We try. Thank you, Brett. I appreciate that. We try to keep you guys level-headed because there's so much just clickbait stuff that they've got to try to sell it and all that, and it's just silly, man. Big O, does Jake Bailey suck as much as it seems? And should the Dolphins give the kid outside the stadium a shot? Jake Bailey's and I don't know anything about the kid outside. I'm not smart enough to say that they should or shouldn't. That's my problem with that one. But I can agree with you on this, Gonzo. I can't say I'm super impressed with Jake Bailey. I kind of like the old guy they had a couple of years ago. The guy they got from New Orleans. And he went to the Jets. Yeah. I thought he did a solid job. I don't know why we got rid of him. Forgot his name now, but yeah, that dude, I thought he was all right. Man, what a disappointing thing for a rookie first-round QB. Really hinders McCarthy's development initially. Yeah. How is it? Morstead. That's it. Thomas Morstead. There you go. Thank you, Pat in Asheville. Appreciate it. And I owe you a phone call. Thank you. I was 12 when Pump Up the Volume came out. Great memories. Brian says, Fast Times is a great pop culture flick. Even though I was only 6 when it came out, I can see that those were much better times to be a teenager. Oh, my God. I mean, Brian, I start using the old man card on you when I do that shit. But it is true. It's way better when I grew up than the kids nowadays. Are you kidding me? No social media. Okay. We didn't have any of that. So that's fantastic. Really, the phones came in like on my senior year, and it was like a brick or something. Very few people even had phones. So that wasn't a thing. There was some beepers, but that's about it. We had freedom. We could go to we could travel out of high school to go to lunch. Hell, I remember you had a certain amount of days that you could miss, and you knew. I think it was like 27 or 30 days or something like that you could miss, and so I knew how many days I could skip. I don't know. In school, can you pass with a D anymore? Like, I remember you could pass some classes back in the day. Like, if you got a D, you're like, well, okay, it sucked, but I passed. I got by. Yeah, I think your GPA had to be somewhere in the low C's or some shit like that, right? Yeah, you can kind of like, yeah, dude. Yeah, everything was just better, bro. Yeah. We didn't have a whole bunch of like STDs and shit also, by the way, and if you and by chance, I mean, really, if you're screwing high school girls, you're not really getting gonorrhea and syphilis. Seriously, you're just not. And if you did, penicillin, boom, and it's over. I never went through that experience, but So yeah, it was yeah, it's not even close, dude. It's not even close. Yeah, and as kids, we also had much more discipline than the idiots now. We're not taking guns to malls. We didn't do any of that stupid shit. We're not taking guns to the beach. We're not taking guns anywhere, dude. It was a rarity if you ever even saw a gun from a young person. I'm not saying it didn't happen because there's always a delinquent. There's always one guy that's like an outlier of the whole school that everybody knows he's like the top delinquent and he's headed for jail for the rest of his life. Everybody has that one criminal in school. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because those of us that grew up in the 80s, man, we had marimberos and all that kind of stuff, but you never really had to worry about drug dealing and all that stuff. If you're not in that world, they're not really coming after you. That's kind of like the misconception of Mexico. People don't really mess with tourists and stuff like that in Mexico, but don't go messing with drug dealers. Just don't go to Mexico and think you're a drug dealer and start going into people's territories and start doing stuff. And then that's when you're in trouble. But if you're going there to just go to Acapulco and go to Mexico City and just they will leave you alone. They're not going to mess. They don't care about you. That kind of stuff. And that's kind of how it was overall in the 80s, I would say. You really didn't have that issue unless you were involved in it. If you weren't involved in it, there was no reason to worry about it. All the crap that goes on nowadays never went on then. So yes, it was a much better time. We knew how to have fun without being criminals. That was the key. We knew how to get effed up. We knew how to go have some fun, have some sex, and then go home. Jail was not an option for us. Like, you were more afraid of your parents, and that's the thing too with kids nowadays. There's no fear of your parents. We feared our parents more than the law. That's disappeared now. Now they don't fear your parents or the law. It's kind of different, right? Now that you think about it, I just thought about that. They don't fear parents or the law. We feared both, but we feared our parents a lot more than the law. Oh my God. Please take me to jail. I'll tell them I was at my friend's house for a couple days and I'll get away with it. But if you tell them I got arrested, what's going to happen to me at home is a lot worse than anything that's going to happen to me with the cops. So yeah, different time. Yeah. Kids were different. Big O, I think Malik Washington is going to get his opportunities this year to make big plays. As we all know, that kid caught a lot of balls in college. Yes, just a little disturbing with the drops, but he's definitely got the skill set. Christian Slater was in Broken Arrow. Oh, okay, Broken Arrow, not Face Off. Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it. But yeah, Broken Arrow was the one with that same girl, Broken Arrow. Let's see. Thomas Morstead was one of the best punters in the league, and we let him go to a rival. I know, that was so weird. And that's the special teams coach call right there. He's the one saying, yeah, no, let's go get this guy. And you know me, I have not been a Crossman fan. Never been a Crossman fan. So I'm not sure that McDaniels made a good hire there, but whatever. Cosa Nostra is loving Madrid's lineup. NorCal says, if you get a D in class now, it's actually a B. You're all good. What's he leading to with that one? What up, Big O? Make sure to stay hydrated. I did today. I have plenty of hydration. Big O, the car song Moving in Stereo will always evoke memories for me of Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool. Yes. Oh, for sure. For sure. Every time that song is played, I think of Phoebe Cates every single time. Yes. Man, she was gorgeous. Woo! Absolutely gorgeous. Karoon says, man, my school had so many fake thugs. You needed a pass for a teacher just to get a drink of water. This was 2002, 2006. Oh, yeah. This is way before. I'm talking about way before that now.
You know, in Broward County schools now, there's a metal detector you have to go through to get into the schools now.
Oh,
the students as well. Every morning they were lined up. First day of school was not a big success, but the second day apparently got better. I don't know how today went, but yep, every school.
Okay. And guess what? Do you blame them? No. Can't blame them. You know, it's like some guy was telling me, well, because cops may not want to work. I think it's LAX or Chicago. I think it's what. Yeah. I comment on it. So they're going to have face recognition, right? And so now the cops don't want to work the airport because they're going to have face recognition and they don't want their faces on there, even though they're cops. They're not undercover. Huh? It was the LAX. It was LAX airport. Yeah, it was the LA. Right. It was the LAX airport. And so, and I said, too bad. Unfortunately, face recognition is needed. Sorry, there's a lot of bad people out there. And by the way, cops also can't be trusted. So what are you going to do? What about if somebody bad figures out a way to get a cop uniform, and then what are we going to do? Not have the face recognition track cops? No, man. Unfortunately, that's just the way it's going to be. And if you're not a criminal or anything like that, like you or me or whatever, I don't give a shit, dude. Run the face recognition all you want, dude. I'm just a working stiff. I pay my taxes. I'm not robbing banks or carjacking people or kidnapping or murder. I got nothing to hide, bro. I don't give a shit. Do all the face recognition you want. You know what I'm saying? I know people are like, oh, one guy was like, oh, well, you're worried if Big Brother's watching. I go, bro, what do you got to hide? What are you hiding? There's nothing to hide. And what do you think? They don't watch you already? You think they don't know exactly where you're at? Your phone tags you everywhere you go. Your car tags you everywhere you go. Every cell tower, every time you're driving. It's just like there's a digital imprint anyways. So if this helps in finding bad people and helps the police in finding bad people in situations like a stadium or something like that, more power to you. And unfortunately, we live in a society where you cannot trust people anymore. This post 9/11 society, we have to do things differently. Sucks, but it's the truth, you know. Ocala Joe is in the house. Yes, Crossman was a Flores hire, Pat, and somehow they kept him here. I don't know why. Ocala Joe says, afternoon, everybody. Great to hear a hydrated and energetic Big O bringing the truth. Thank you, sir. Brett says, no accountability is one of the things bringing our society down in many aspects. Of course. Of course. Because when things don't go your way, well, of course they cheated. In times of big hair and big bushes, there was a Big O developing right under our noses. Exactly. So, graduated in 91. We didn't have anything more than fistfights. My brother graduated in 94, his senior, and knives started showing up more. Not sure when guns started showing up. Yeah, I know. Never saw a gun in our school. So that's not something that ever showed up. In the 80s, it's too rare for that shit to show up. George says, Big O, we were allowed 30 unexcused absences. I knew it was something like that. I don't know why I said 27 or something like that. Anything more needed a doctor's note. I had a great doctor when I was in high school that took care of all of that for me. The school hated him. Nice. Good for you. You had the hookup. I know I knew exactly the amount of dates I could skip. I'm sorry, the days that you could miss. And I made sure that I missed right up to like a day or two short of it. Because, you got to have a day or two stashed just in case.
You also knew the time the school was going to call to answer.
Oh yeah,
the phone.
Yeah, but as I told you yesterday, day before, and I've said it before, I was a latchkey kid. So guess what they got when they called my house? Ring, 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 ring. There was no answering machine. Ring, ring. And she wasn't home till 5 o'clock. And guess what? They weren't calling after 5 o'clock. So ring all the hell you want. I didn't get in trouble for that one. So yeah, that was good. That was good. And you're right. I think I do remember like skipping school. And the cool thing about it is I could skip school and then go back to my house because my mom was never home. Oh, and one more thing, kiddies. We didn't have cameras at home. So my mom wouldn't know from the Sloman's cameras that I got home. Because I know when my wife gets home, my phone goes, my daughter gets home, the dogs move around, whatever. My Sloman's cameras are going off just like yours, right? Like, when something happens in your house right off your phone. Can you imagine having that stuff? Can the Sloman's cameras back when I was a kid? That would have ruined my day. Are you kidding me? I'm done skipping. It's 1 o'clock. I can go back home, kick back, relax. Mom gets home at 5. How was school? Oh, it was great. She has no idea. I've been home since 11 or 12 or 1. Just no idea. Never finds out. Life was good. Life was good. So, D Wolverines, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Remember, you can always make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. It's been a while. Oh, why are all these teachers sleeping with students so pretty? LOL. Where were these back in the day? Times were so different back then. I asked myself that question. The two questions I asked myself is, where were those teachers when I was young? And 2, why are you ratting out your spy? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? These are free lessons you're getting in life, bro. Milk it. Literally, figuratively, emotionally, sexually. What's wrong with you? I remember I was 18. Yeah, I think I was 18, maybe closer to 19, not sure. And I was working at Republic National Bank. Young dude. And not quite high school, but just fresh out of high school. I was a teller and I became a money officer after, which I was like balancing millions of dollars every day, which is the most stressful and the job I've hated the most in my life. But there was one good thing about that job. It's a Puerto Rican 34-year-old woman that I met. And lunchtime was a lot of fun, bro. And, I wouldn't change anything, that was an experience. And, these are experiences. So, it's kind of the way it goes. Then I moved to another branch and I met one that was 37 years old. I don't know. Some of these women like young guys. And I just keep thinking about those days and, those experiences. And I keep thinking about when I see these high schoolers, it's like you're getting free action and you're running to mom and dad. Boy, that's a different kind of upbringing. That's a different kind. You know the kind of upbringing I had. My dad would want me to tell me stories about that. That's how bad it would have been. So you're banging your teacher. Oh, so tell me about it. Really? Is she fine? My dad would be twisted like that, he would say. Because, again, it was a different world. You treated a young man in high school like a man, almost. Basically. Different world, man. I grew up in a completely different society. Yeah. So it's it was a different type of upbringing. Let's see. Just Big O. Same in my house with after school calls, but we also would get a call back in the evening. That call would get me sometimes so funny as a kid. But George, then you're older than I am. I don't remember any evening calls. There was no evening calls in
Broward,
the 70s.
it was at 6 o'clock for when I was 80s, 90s,
Okay,
late
yeah.
80s, going to 90s.
Yeah.
About
70s, early 80s.
6 and 6:30 was the call usually you got. Now they call you, they send you a text, and I get an email if she's late to class.
Right.
Like I get all that before
For sure.
she even knows what's going on.
Right. No, now you're
yeah.
screwed.
Yeah,
now you're
you
screwed.
can't-
Now there's a digital imprint of everything you do. Everything. You bought something at McDonald's, you put gas, you went through a toll booth, you've gone through every cell tower out there, you send tweets, texts. There's a digital imprint of everything you've done all day. All day. They can time you out everywhere you've been, dude. Street cameras, everything. They've been watching for a while now. I went to Green Glade Elementary, W.R. Thomas, I remember that, and Braddock Senior High. I'm almost sure it was 10 unexcused absences, graduated in 97. It was more than that for me in the early 80s. 10 was every period? Oh, that's
I believe
different.
you could have, 10 a period, I believe, at some point. I remember 10, the number 10, but I don't know if it was
I'm too old
per
for
period or
I'm too old
whatever.
for
And
that.
I graduated in 93, so it was somewhere around that, something like that.
Yeah, I'm too old for that. For me, it was just days. That's it. Big O, we had rifle racks on the rear of truck windows in the 80s. Yeah, I know, because we were responsible. Yeah, and we still and you still fist fight. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. The two guys with gun racks still got in fist fights. That's a fantastic point. Because we were responsible. And then, by the way, the fight happened and you broke it up, and then eventually everybody made up and you moved on, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, not saying every time, but a lot of times. Different world, bro. We're just way more mature. We respected people. We respected life. We respected, human beings. It's just a different, they don't have that nowadays, Our high school was so tough in English class, teachers asked what comes at the end of a sentence. Kids put up his hand and said, "You make an appeal." Rodney Dangerfield. My mom got the evening calls often, 81 to 91. Yeah, that's different. That's past my time. There were no evening calls. That never existed in my lifetime. Thank God. Gotten plenty of those there.
They realized most people probably worked past 5 and said, well, what are we doing? We're not getting picked up. Nobody's answering the phones. Let's change it a little bit. And they did it for 6.
It was so remedial back in my day, okay, that you would get a report card that had it penned in the grades. And then if you were smart, you'd fold it where you got an F, fold it a couple times this way, that way, and then you make it an A. And then with the folding, you couldn't tell that you filled it in because you made it an A and then you folded it all up and all that. Come on, bro. Or you made it a B. In my case, you probably make it a B because they look at me like, you got an A? Really? You got an A? And really only PE I was getting A's because I didn't really care about anything else. Although that's not true. Through 4th grade, I actually got all A's and B's. And then in 5th grade,
that's usually what everybody gets through 4th grade.
5th grade, I
don't know anybody that's ever really got.
I started skipping in 5th grade.
Yeah, you're out. Wow, it's crazy.
5th grade.
I think the first time I ever skipped school was probably 10th grade. Was when I skipped school. Like I would come back late from lunches. We'd bring food back for the teacher and things like that. But I think 10th grade was the first time I ever actually
When
Like
you know
skip
your mom
school.
is not going to be home, So I would, if I had a few quarters, there was, I think it was called Almonte. I want to say it was a little Cuban supermarket right next to Versailles. It was right on the corner, and they had a couple of pinball machines. So I would skip school, 5th grade, 6th grade, go over to Almonte, play some pinball machine. Then I would go home. Now, here we go. This is very important now, Sean. Very important how I went home. I never went through the front door because I never wanted the neighbors to know that I was home to tell my mom. Nosy neighbors. But again, we lived in a different era. I knew how to cut through yards. So I would come through the backyard, but I would come through 7 houses down on the other side of the block. And then I would jump, all the different fences or go through bushes because some houses didn't have fences. They had bushes. So I'd cut through them, and then I'd jump through the back corner of my house, walk in through the back, and nobody knew I was home. This is smart sumbitch is what you call me. So that's how we rolled back in the day.
That's the other difference nowadays too, though. Everybody's got a guard dog or a dog in the backyard. Like
I had. Yeah.
You know, like I'm saying, you can't jump on because then you're gonna get nailed by somebody's dog
or shot.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, depending if they're home.
We used to play tag because there were all kinds of little alleys and all kinds of stuff throughout our neighborhood, and you can run through yards and all that, and nobody would ever do anything. Nobody's going to pull out again, different world. Nobody was pulling out a gun or anything, bro. You could cut through yards, all that kind of stuff, dude.
We used to do the not paint, but we used to have BB gun, shoot each other BB guns, put on sweaters, and we had a nursery on the other side of our house, so you could go through there, and then Roman candles too, like 4th of July time.
Sure,
we would shoot them every once in a while. You might hit a passing car if it went too far, but yeah, I mean those were the days, man.
Those were the days.
Now
you can't do any of that. Can't get away with any of that stuff.
And it was single action BB guns, by the way, so you had to sit there, load it, pump it, and hopefully you don't get shot in the meantime.
And I had to be careful too because the Magnavox, the big stereo system that we had, I couldn't crank it too loud because then they would know I'm home.
Yeah.
So I had to crank up the Boston a little low,
or the 13 channels on cable TV at that time, or how many?
No, 4, 3.
Oh, you had the basic. Okay.
We're talking 4, 6, 7, and 10, and 33.
Yeah.
That's I don't even think
at that time 39 wasn't even. It was.
I don't even 39 was in business.
39. It was that.
I don't even know if 39 was in business when I was in elementary or junior high. I think 39 might have gotten into business later on in high school or just after. Yeah, I don't know.
Now you'd be on somebody else's social media jumping gates because they'd get you on their ring or whatever.
Oh my God, yes. Forget about it.
Camera.
You can't do that now. You'd be dead. For sure. My mom to this day quotes the evening calls they got almost daily. Your son, daughter was marked absent 1 or more classes today. Walmart has security cameras like Guantanamo. It helped me realize I had slouched when I walked through. Much better posture now. The friggin' evening calls got me many times. Yeah, I'm again old enough that there were no evening calls. Oh man, these kids today have no shot. School by me, send a cop to the house. If you don't contact them by 10:30 a.m., if you don't call my kids out, crazy. Yeah. Nice and sneaky. Oh, well done. Hey, man. You gotta get away with. You gotta figure stuff out. If you're gonna get away with it, you gotta figure out all the angles.
There was a bus stop, like for us when we skipped school. There was a school that had a big bush right at the bus stop. It was a whole bunch of trees, like bushes, to where. So the bus would pull up thinking it was just like whoever, like 2 old ladies waiting for the bus. And then as soon as the doors open, you see like a whole lot of kids right from behind the bush go into the car real quick, into the bus to go to the Broward Mall. That's where we would
That's
Head
it.
to that way.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Oh, jumping and climbing up walls. Hells to the yeah. Ring cameras everywhere too. Yep. I knew had seen a lot of big bushes. Definitely. In my day, definitely. Candid cameras are everywhere. Yep. Oh, what was the Saturday morning afternoon morning afternoon scary movies that used to come in Miami in the late 70s? One of those half dozen channels. Well, it was WCIX. It was Channel 6. Big Wilson was our man on the scene with the creature from the Black Lagoon and the Blob and all that other stuff that would come on. It was Big Wilson. WCIX. So he would have movies all the time and he would host it. And Saturday mornings, obviously cartoons, but in the evenings, he would have like they would show like a movie or two. I think it was maybe only one. And then the commercial breaks, Big Wilson would come back and he'd talk about the movie and what was going on and any nuggets from the movie and then let's continue. And then he'll have some giveaways and things like that. So Big Wilson was our guy here in South Florida when I was a kid. That was the guy that you would watch any of the scary movies or any kind of movies on Channel 6 because they were the independent affiliate. Channel 6 was. Okay, there was a big switch back in the day. And then 7 became the independent, the Fox. But initially, the independent was WCIX, which would carry Yankee baseball, would carry Notre Dame basketball. I remember Atlanta Braves baseball. All that was on WCIX here locally, because again, some of these other sports weren't necessarily, grown up in our neighborhood, in our town. So yeah, Big Wilson was my guy. Let's see, mid to late 90s, we had no evening calls. We started cutting probably in 7th grade. Kids today have no idea. Yep. Oh my God, WCIX classic. There you go, Ray. There was a lady that worked at Walmart that told me that if you steal a lot at the self-checkout, they don't confront you right away. They just issue a warrant through the police. Not sure how true that is. Probably not true. Because you would have to, first of all, keep all the video as evidence and then track the person down. And then, no, I just think it would be, she's just doing that to scare people. They're eliminating the checkouts. I don't know if you know that. Self-checkouts are getting eliminated. Even at Walmart.
They're going to be in trouble.
Why? Because they're stealing.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nobody now. At the Walmart I go to now, there's like maybe 4 employees total. And 2 of them are at the checkouts. And the other ones run the little one person running around doing it. They're going to have to rehire everybody.
Well,
I've been in the break room a couple times after work and after scanning some stuff. And
apparently that's what's going on, dude. Yeah. By the way, Welton Rayom, we love talking about Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, 954-966-4646. Listen, we're in the middle of storm season, but now you've realized, as we all now have, the last couple of years, it's no longer about just hurricanes. Now we know that we can get a torrential downpour any moment. It could happen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. We just had a torrential downpour right before we got here. And all of a sudden, you've got water damage that you just did not count on. And folks, Welton Rayom, what I don't want you to do is call the insurance company because they're just going to take advantage of you. They'll send their own adjusters. The adjusters are working for the insurance company, not for you. You want to call Welton Rayom. Why? They have their own adjusters. So they'll make sure they'll assess all the damage, and then they will contact the insurance company and handle all of that. You will not handle any of the headache. You will only handle the check, which is a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646. Those of you dealing with bankruptcy, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, please call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. The consultation's completely free. 954-966-4646. Let's see. But did WCIX ever show the movie The Blob? Yes, it did. Definitely. At least once a year, you saw The Blob. You saw Creature of the Black Lagoon at least once a year. For sure. I remember watching Samurai Sunday on Channel 33 with my dad every weekend. Good times. There you go. Samurai Sunday. I remember Channel 33. I don't know. 39 came after. I don't know exactly what year it was. Let me get to some birthdays. Let's do that. Oh, why don't we do that? All right, musicians first and foremost, born on this date. Let's see. Kevin Cadogan from Third Eye Blind, a little semi-charm kind of life, baby, baby. Born in 1970 on this date. Mark Collins, guitarist for the English indie rock band The Charlatans. Or it could be The Charlatans UK, right? I mean, they used to be called The Charlatans UK, and then now they're just called The Charlatans. But that's all right. Mark Collins, born in this date in 1965. Let's see. Sharon Bryant, singer with the American band Atlantic Star, born in 1956. Slim Dunlap, born in 1951 on this date with the Replacements. Bruce Thomas, bassist for Elvis Costello and the Attractions, born on this date in 1948. Let's see. George Newsom from the Climax Blues Band, born on this date in 1947. Larry Graham, bassist, guitarist for Sly and the Family Stone. Larry was born on this date in 1946. And David Crosby from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. David Crosby was born on this date in 1941. Those are musicians born on this date. Let's go with regular birthdays for famous folk like Mila Kunis, who is 41 years old. The amazing and the very talented Halle Berry is 58. Magic Johnson is 65 years old. Also celebrating birthdays today, Steve Martin, comedian and actor, is 79. Tim Tebow is 37 years old. Pretty decent list here so far. What else? Jackie Harry, born on this date in 1968, Mrs. 227. Let's see who else. And that is it. Oh, here's a wrestler, but I'm sure you'll have him. So let's move over to Sean Stanley. What do you got in wrestlers celebrating birthdays today?
Yes, sir. Bob Backlund is celebrating a birthday today. Bobby Duncombe. Bobby Eaton, beautiful Bobby Eaton. He was born on this date in 1958. We lost him in 2021. Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert was born on this date in 1961. We lost him in 1995. I'm guessing this is the name on the list that you had. Kofi Kingston of the New Day. He is celebrating a birthday. Peter Maivia Jr. turns 59. And NWO Sting, Jeff Farmer, turned 62 today. They are all celebrating a birthday on August 14th.
Nope, you didn't mention him. Johnny Gargano, wrestler.
Wow, Johnny Gargano was not on the list that I had. I wasn't able to get to the other one because this list was so big. I wasn't able to get through everybody. Wow.
Gargano was born on this date in 87 in Cleveland, Ohio. He's 37 today. Professional wrestler known primarily for his popularity on the independent circuit, which includes a 2-year run as the champion of the Open the Freedom Gate. And he joined WWE's NXT program in 2015.
Yes.
He first entered the ring at the age of 8 after being introduced to JT Lightning through his father's business. He officially started training in the sport at 16. By the way, he's married to fellow wrestler
Candice LeRae.
Candice LeRae.
Yep. And he's teammates with Tommaso Ciampa, which is called DIY. And anybody that watches wrestling will get this. Happy birthday to DX's Shawn Michaels.
Well, he's credited Shawn Michaels for being one of the wrestling influences in his life.
R-Truth is one of the comedian wrestlers, and he calls him Shawn Michaels and Tommaso Ciampa Triple H, which was DX back in the day. And then those for that are saying it's not Sting's birthday, it's NWO Sting's birthday, which was Jeff Farmer, not Sting. For those, I just want to make sure that there's a breakup between the two.
Okay. All right. Finally saw Deadpool. Awesome movie. LOL. One of those movies locked in from the very beginning. Yeah, I went the other way on it. Yeah. I wasn't impressed at all. Just too much fighting, bro. It's just there's all kinds of fighting. It just drowns it all out. And I don't find him funny. I don't find this sarcastic superhero funny. So that's where we go different ways on that one. My daughter loved it. So young people loved it. I saw the first one. I actually found out that day that this was the third one. I thought this was the second one. Apparently there's a second one. But I didn't really enjoy the first one, so I didn't really watch the second one. And then this one I only went because of my daughter and my wife. They wanted to go, so I spent some time with them, and I go and saw it. But I wasn't impressed. I'll laugh a hell of a lot more with Old School. Yeah, a lot more with Old School. That I really enjoyed. Bob Backlund was one of the all-time great wrestlers. Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sting, also great wrestlers.
That was a problem with Bob Backlund. He was such a great wrestler. He had no personality, but he was WWE champion up till the Iron Sheik beat him, and then Hulk Hogan beat him, which started wrestling as we know it today.
Sean, that was a what the F moment. I'm revoking your wrestling card.
Listen, I've got 2 websites that I go to for birthdays. I was not able to get to the second one because this one had all these birthdays, and by the time I couldn't tell, I was not ready. So my fault.
Not ready.
And by the way, NWO Sting and Blonde Sting, it was Wolfpack Sting, which was the regular Sting. The NWO Sting was the one that they were parading around that Sting had joined them until Sting came out of the rafters and Scorpion Death dropped the fake Sting, which was the NWO Sting.
I disagree. Sting is really with the police. Sometimes he goes solo on himself, but, he goes on his own. But really, Sting is with the police.
Solo on himself, huh?
Solo on himself. That's what they do.
Yes, it happens.
It happens in the dressing room when he's all alone. Let's get to our 3A Graphics Solo on Yourself sports calendar. They are at 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. You can show up there, Solo on Yourself. They've got custom printing and embroidery. They can do something printing and embroidery of you being solo on yourself. By the way, yesterday, Columbus eliminated Inter from the League's Cup 3-2. They were up 2-0. They had it. They had it. It was there. Like Inter now knows what Trump feels like. He had the election, and then they switched it out. Kind of like that. Anyway, so the boys are eliminated. They had their chance. That is your 3A Graphics. Well, not practicing today. Tyreek, Wilson, Mostert, Ahmed, Schwartz, Connor, Fortson, Jonnu Smith, Brewer, Armstead, Benito Jones, Calais Campbell, Walker, David Long, Kendall Fuller, Ramsey, Bonner, Holland. They all missed practice today for the Miami Dolphins. They get ready tomorrow to scrimmage against the Washington Commanders. We will be there to cover that practice. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Now we've got it. We had it yesterday, bro. It was there. We had the victory. It was 2-0. We had it. Damn it. Did you ever see the videos of the WWF champ Bob Backlund versus AWA champion Harley Race? All-time greats.
That was when wrestling was wrestling. Yes.
Okay, I have no idea what he's talking about.
Those were when they used to go for 45 to 60 minutes of just athletic contest.
Okay.
What was athletic back then?
Right. You know Sting as a music act. We know Sting as a wrestler. That's right. Sting is, for me, a hell of a musician, decent bassist, great songwriter. No doubt about that. I don't know if your Sting can write songs, but my Sting can write songs. My Sting can write songs that makes the whole world sing. My Sting can write songs of you playing with yourself and everything.
Interesting thing. One of Sting's favorite moments was when he actually got on stage with Sting.
Oh, Sting and Sting?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Sting joining Sting. Big O is Halle Berry, Salma Hayek, and Scarlett Johansson coming to Walls walk-ons on opening day of the Dolphins. They want to try the Edge energy drink in nature. But yes, actually, Halle will be there for sure. Halle Berry, Salma Hayek are definitely coming to walk-ons for our first 2 weeks. Remember, we're there for the first 2 weeks. We're there for 6 weeks this year. Both Patriot games, the Browns game, the Raiders game, and then these two. I already remembered it. The two Patriots, the Raiders, the Browns, and then this one, the Jags and the Bills, the first 2 weeks. So we're there for those 6 weeks at walk-ons. So join us, and we're going to have giveaways. We do it every quarter. At the end of every quarter, we give away stuff. So join us, man. We're going to have some fun. As always, there are walk-ons. And then we've got 4 road shows. We're going to be in Buffalo. We're going to be in Niagara, actually, for the Bills game. And we'll be at the River Pub there in Niagara. So join us. If you live in that area, Rochester, Buffalo, Niagara, all that, you're not going to the game, join us at the River Pub for the pre- and post-game show. We're going to have some fun there. And we'll bring some stuff to give away also. You know, I can't, take a ton of stuff because, obviously I have to carry it all. But we'll take some stuff. We'll give away some shirts. We'll give away some stuff there at the River Pub. And then in Indianapolis in October, I believe it's October, we're going to be in Indy. We're going to be a block away from the stadium at the Tavern South, it's called. Tavern on South. And it's a block away. And Sports Babe 305, by the way, is doing a big old party there. And she's got, what's it called, the buffet and everything. So you can pay for the buffet. It's got meatballs with teriyaki, smoked wings, mozzarella sticks, flatbread pizza, full taco nacho bar, cheeseburger sliders, kettle chips, brownies, cookies. Now, it's not the kind of brownies that NorCal has. And by the way, NorCal, I'm expecting those brownies in the Seattle and LA trips, okay? Since I'm going to Seattle and LA, we don't have exactly all the information where we're broadcasting in those places yet because we're working on finalizing all that stuff. But you can hang out with us on the road in Indy and in Niagara, and then we'll tell you where in Seattle and in Los Angeles when we're there. And then, of course, here in South Florida, we've got, of course, walk-ons in Kendall. We'll be out there for those 6 dates. We've got a couple of more dates, and I'm trying to see if we could get another bar to team up with us. So if you know a bar or if you own a bar here in South Florida, Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, doesn't matter. Hell, Monroe County. Want to send this down to the Keys? I'll do that. I don't care. I'll broadcast. You know what it is to do a pre and post down in the Keys? That would be pretty freaking cool. Be pretty cool. I know Sean's like, whoa, what a drive. Well, you could drive just to my house. And then I'll drive the rest of the way.
I need to be there to set up for an hour before, so.
I'm going to the Keys. You think I'm complaining?
Yeah, but that would be a 5 a.m. leave.
Damn. Yeah, it's a little early. But anyway, still, we'll get it done. Either way, we'll get it done.
But we will take it still. I'm just saying. That's logistics. That has nothing to do.
Maybe the place in the Keys has like a hotel, and they can put us overnight there, and then we wake up in the morning and go right to do the show. The Tiki Hut, yeah, they could put us out there. We stay overnight, and then we wake up and go right in there and get ready to do the pre and post game show. We can do stuff like that. That's possible. You never. There's the Jimmy Johnson place. Exactly. Oh yeah, I'm sure Jimmy Johnson would love to host my show. Yes, Jimmy would love to have us there. We're such believers. We've bought the BS so much. He would definitely love us to be there. Brett says, legal Canadian brownies. That's right. NorCal says, brownies, a no-brainer. Oh, I'm counting on you, NorCal. I'm counting on you. And they better be strong, okay? Because let me tell you something about edibles. All right? Because I've been treated to several edibles from these places, and none of them do anything to me. None of them. Tell you, like, they give you like this chocolate. Oh, you can only eat 2 pieces, the most, and I'm eating 2 pieces and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Then I eat the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th piece. And then I'm farting like True Fin Fan. Not high, but I'm farting like True Fin Fan. I'm like, what is this? So these, I have not been impressed with the cookies or the candy. I got to say, in these dispensaries, because my buddies have brought it over. Like, hey, I got this. It works wonders. And I'm like, sure, I'll try it. I'm home. I'm not going anywhere. Nothing. Weak. For that, I just eat regular cookies and candy. And, don't fatten me up and not get me at least a little buzz. You know what I'm saying? So, NorCal, pressure's on, dude. Pressure's on. You better make them really good brownies. I don't want to eat a brownie and just be farting. That's no fun. Well, it's kind of fun, but not as fun. Kind of fun. Yeah, somewhat entertaining. But I really want to be entertained. So, pressure's on. Want to enjoy a brownie while I'm at Hendrix' gravesite. Like, wow, dude. I can't believe Hendrix is buried here, man. Let's dig him up. Huh? I'm sorry, what do you say? What? Edibles take away from the tradition of breaking it up and lighting up a bong with ice cubes in it. Just saying. You have to give them edibles about 45 minutes to an hour to kick in, and you'll be up. I have, Lenny. Every time somebody's brought an edible from a dispensary, they do nothing. I eat well over the minimum they tell me or maximum they tell me to eat, and it does nothing. Seriously. Oh, no, you can only have 1 cookie. Bitch, I'll eat 4 of them, and it does nothing. Oh, you can only have 2 little blocks. Because you've seen them how the chocolates come in. They come in blocks, right? Because you can only have them in portions. Bro, I'm eating the whole damn candy bar, and it's doing nothing to me. An hour, 2 hours later, 3 hours later, the only thing I'm doing is, that's it. It's the only thing I'm doing. Stepping on ducks. So, I don't know what it is. But I've been fed bad edibles so far. Weak-ass edibles. Okay? So I'm hoping that NorCal, since those are homegrown edibles, You know, he grows his own stuff and everything. So I'm hoping that NorCal has the real trick. Because I got go ahead.
No, he said he perfected his recipe 4 years ago.
Oh,
Brownies are on point. He said they're 10s.
Okay, that's it. I can't wait. You gonna try one? I knew he was gonna say no. Well, go ahead. The bakery.
What's the NTNs? What's the brownies? The
Entenmann's?
Yeah, Entenmann's. That's the brownies.
Okay, all right. So now you know, NorCal. Go buy an Entenmann's one and repackage it for him. All right, we're eating brownie. No, but here's your Entenmann's, Sean. So you need to go find some place where you can repackage it, you know, and that way my man won't know. Sean, how you doing? Oh, great, man. Wow, these brownies are awesome. Wow. You know, and he's just like, you know.
Like, oh, your audio sounds off. I'll just be able to push some buttons up. They're great.
That's it. I sound like my dentures fell forward. I'm suffering succotash. Happens to people sometimes when they do press conferences. They end up doing press conferences with stuff in succotash. Too funny. Let's see. What else do we have? My butterscotch cookies knocked E1 on their ass. Well, I'm good with that. I got some stuff, as Cheech would say, let's go to the moon. Big O goes to Jimmy Johnson's restaurant in the Keys. That's a mob setup. While playing all of Jimmy Johnson's segments when he walks in. Priest will need to bring holy water. Yes. Yeah, just put the segment of me ripping him for leaving Vinny Testaverde in the game constantly.
What was the last? You stated you can't believe how he's pulled the wool over everybody's eyes as far as everybody thinking he's such a great quarterback.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, quarterback whisperer or something. He didn't even want Troy Aikman and shit. And he got like Jim Druckenmiller for us. And yeah. Crazy. Mark says, I'll put my brownies up against anyone's. Come at me, fool. Tombstone says, Bill, you have to know how many milligrams gets you high. Then you know what to get. 20, 30, 40, so on. Well, look, NorCal is a professional stoner. So since he's a professional stoner, he has to load up his brownies. So I figure if NorCal can't get me buzzed, then nobody can get me buzzed. Okay? So we'll see. NorCal or bust. We'll see. You know? Let's see. I assume you make can of butter first to NorCal, says Brett. Defo would have to stand between O and JJ. That would be good. Defo might be too busy also having a few brownies in between. So I mean, he may not be able to stand in between us, by the way. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, which you know we always love our Bitcoin donations. By the way, Bitcoin's at 58,979. My God, I hope you people are taking advantage of this. I hope you don't wait till you see it over 100, 120, 140,000 and start saying, yeah, maybe I should start buying it, you know, which won't be a bad idea even then, but it's just a better idea right now, you know. Not a financial advisor. But I just got to mention it, okay? By the way, Sloman's Home Shield, folks, if you're feeling like you're not as safe and secure at your home, you know, we were just talking about it. Sean and I, we've got Sloman's at our home, And we know if somebody walks up to the door and we're not there. We know if anybody in our house arrives. Everything that goes on, because the cameras are working. And for me, I have cameras inside the house too. So movement, I'm watching my dogs constantly. It's like really, really cool that I'm able to watch my dogs. Now, the motion inside the house, it moves a lot. You know what I mean? So, because I know my dogs are constantly moving and stuff like that. So I get to see, although they have their stretches where they sleep for a while. When you get to sleep on a nice leather couch, which both of my big dogs get to sleep on nice leather couches, they get comfortable in there. And I see them, and it's like, man, that's the life right there. That's the life I need. I'm watching on my Sloman's cameras, my dogs just having a great old life there. It's kind of fun, you know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty. That's how you feel good. Your dogs are safe. Your home is safe. I'm watching television and somebody comes to ring the doorbell to sell me something. I can look at my phone and say, oh God, I don't want to talk to this person. So I leave them there knocking, ringing the doorbell, and the dogs are going crazy, scaring the hell out of them. That part is fun, actually. That part is fun because they're actually scared through the door. I would be too if those two effers get loose. Because if my two dogs get loose on you, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. They're mean. Like, they're beautiful with us, but boy, strangers, ooh, doggy. But that's what you love about Sloman's Home Shield. You get to keep up with anything and everything going on. Cameras outside, cameras inside. And then, of course, the alarm system is so easy to use. And you can turn off certain parts of your home when you're setting it. I mean, there's so many advantages to it. That's why I'm telling you, man, Sloman's Home Shield right now can give you 24/7 peace of mind, and we're offering a free home security system with professional installation for free when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. A free system includes the panel and the keyboard, up to 10 door contacts, window decal, lawn sign, professional installation, lifetime service, communication device, and backup battery. You're going to love that. They offer custom top-of-the-line home security systems. Sloman's has been protecting Americans for over 100 years, folks, 24/7. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your home, your family, your valuables right now with Sloman's Home Shield. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right. How many MGSs do you guys have to take after a Dolphin loss? What's MGSs? What does he mean by that? After a Dolphins loss? Milligrams? Is that what it is? Oh, maybe that's what it is. Okay. See, I don't speak that language. I don't know what they're all talking about and all that kind of stuff. I just have fun with the whole brownie thing, and I'll try it. What the hell? I'll have some fun with it. But I don't know any. Oh, milligrams. Okay. So you guys are talking stuff that I just don't know anything about. You know what I mean? I'm just feed me. That's all I know. All right, I'll try it. As Barney would say in How I Met Your Mother, challenge accepted. That's all I can tell you. Challenge accepted. It's a beautiful thing. By the way, have you seen anything on the Claypool thing? I haven't seen anything there either. Have you? Yeah, like I'm sorry, Claypool's been put on the IR. Ayuk. Did that happen yet? No, right? Okay, I'm looking here at the headlines. Yeah, Robbie Chosen did get signed, yeah. He's such an airhead. He looks like a really nice kid, Robbie Chosen. He looks like a nice guy. But man, you squeeze that head and air is going to come out of those ears in a big time way, bro. What else is there? And Ravens Andrews, by the way, is okay after the car accident. Mark Andrews avoided injury Wednesday morning after being involved in a serious car accident. 2 vehicles sustained heavy damage. The accident occurred while Andrews was driving to Ravens team facility for training camp. I appreciate everyone's thoughts and well wishes. This is a great reminder about the importance of wearing seatbelts and remaining alert while driving a car. So there you go, and hopefully he's all right. That poor guy went through an injury just 2 years ago, man. So you just, Bad luck. Now, the Niners want to keep Ayuk, it says. So we'll see if they can come up with a deal. If not, he could be moved to Pittsburgh now, since Pittsburgh must be willing to trade and pay for him, which is absolutely amazing. Robbie will be chosen to get cut again. There is no doubt in my mind, Ray, that that's probably where he's headed. NorCal, by the way, has got a recipe for you. 1/2 ounce of flour per stick of butter. It's a great ratio. If you have 1 brownie, you barely feel it. 2, you know something's off. 3, you better be an OG. So I've got to eat 3 brownies to get wasted? Or are they like big ass? That's a lot of brownies, bro. You can't make like one really potent one for me, Mark. Like overload one of them. Yeah, big old not. But I don't want to. As the problem is, I can't eat too much brownie. It's too rich. I can't eat 3 brownies, dude. Oh my god. That's like, if I have to eat 3 brownies, it's just the you know what it is? If I have to eat 3 brownies, I'm gonna be farting up a storm, dude. That's like that's a lot of chocolate, man. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. I have to stay in the hotel for that night. Jesus. 3 brownies. I could never even eat 3 brownies on my own, with not funky brownies. Like no, it's too much chocolate. Repugna. What's that called? When it's too much of, it's delicious, but if you have too much of it, it's kind of sickening. What's the word in English? Pungent or something? What is it? Repugna is in Spanish. I know that. What's the word in English? Like something that's delicious, but you really can't have too much of it because it pungent, right? That's what it is. Is that what it is? Is that the word that I'm looking for? That's what I feel from brownies.
I don't use big words like that. That's too big of a word.
That's how I feel about brownies, NorCal. I can't have 3 brownies. There's no way I can eat 3 brownies. It's too much chocolate. It's too rich. It gets to a point where it might be a little sickening for me. In other words, it's like that. Like, I can't go and eat like 15 churros. I like churros. I can eat 1 or 2. I can't eat 10 of them, bro. I like Krispy Kreme donuts. I can't eat 10 of them. I'll eat 1 or 2. I can't sit down and have 6, 7, 8 Krispy Kreme. You see what I'm saying now? You understand my point? Like, I like it and I'll enjoy it, but I can't go overboard on it. And brownies is one of them. I can't have 3 brownies. There's no, unless the brownies are like this size. Mini muffin. Yeah, mini muffins are not. Yeah, mini muffins aren't bad. Those aren't bad. Muffins I can have. I love corn muffins. Oh shit, man! Sometimes I go to Dunkin' Donuts and get a corn muffin. Love their corn muffins, man. Overindulgent. I like that word, Chris. Why are you showing me Western High School? Oh, that's your school college. Oh, okay. Every day. So every day she's skipping? Okay. That's funny. Big O, you can up the amount of cannabis per stick of butter to enable less brownie eating. That's what I need, Brett. Oh, okay. They're small. Okay, well, I could probably hack those. Yeah, the small little muffins, I can, I can eat 3 of those. Yeah, I can do that. I could probably do that. Yeah. Let's see. Something's good, but shouldn't have it in English is Kim Kardashian. I missed the first few minutes of the show and not sure if you mentioned it, but is that yes, of course, bro. I saw them at the Fillmore in Miami Beach. Does it have the year? I don't think this has a back. Yeah, it has nothing in the back. That's right. See? This must have been, dude, this must have been like 6 years ago. The last album, the second to last album, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah, because they're about to have a new album out. I like Foster the People. They're good, and they're good live, by the way. Very good. And the Fillmore, my God, any concert, if you could get a good band that sounds good, and everything sounds good in the Fillmore, but it just, they're a good band, and they sound good, and they were excellent, man. That was a lot of fun. I was there on the floor. I was in the pit, and it was fantastic. And I figured I'd wear Foster the People today because I saw them last night on Jimmy Fallon. So they were there performing one of their new songs from their album. So I figured, hey, man, today's a good day. Plus, I'm going to camp. Let me wear something white just to make it a little easier on me with the sun and the heat. And so I said, let me get a Foster the People shirt. I got one from one of my concerts. So there you go. Yeah, I'm a Foster the People guy. I like some new bands, but they've got to have some talent. You know what I mean? Some of the new shit that's out there, you're not going to catch me listening to Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to listen to something, it'll be Foster the People. It'll be Greta Van Fleet. It'll be Lupe Fiasco. It'll be, something that I really like. Something that's got some real skills. Yes.
Hurricanes news.
Oh.
Well, former Hurricane news, sorry.
Okay.
Tyler Van Dyke has been named the starting quarterback by a very slim margin in Wisconsin. It's 1A, 1B, not 1 and 2. So there you go. But Tyler Van Dyke is the starter in Wisconsin.
Well, hey, all I heard was they don't know what we did with him down here. So, if he's barely your starter there, I don't know what you're doing with him over there either. So we'll see. We'll see. Big O, I won't let you have 3. You'd be on your ass. That sounds like fun. Sounds like yesterday. Don't touch the edibles. Dabs or waxes, flour rolled, zigzag, or raw. Okay. But the edibles are better on my throat. I'm a broadcaster. So it's good to take care of your throat that way too. You know what I'm saying? You should try the Delta 9 gummies. They usually work great. Delta 9 gummies. Where do I get that? Are you saying like dispensaries sell Delta 9 gummies? Is that what you're saying? Man, I just don't trust these dispensaries and their edibles. Huh? Oh, they got an Amazon? Wow. Oh, man. Norca says, I won't let people that have been drinking have one either. You got to eat the brownie before you start drinking or you're done. I'm not a drinker anyway, so that won't be an issue with me. I'm not really much of a drinker. It's not my thing. I stopped being a drinker, decades ago. I was a late teenager when I was a drinker. Seriously, like late teenager. 18, 19, 20, and then I kind of stopped. That's it. I didn't drink much anymore after that. I'll drink, but I'll have a drink or something. I will not get plastered again. I won't be having all kinds of drinks. Maybe you can catch me in a night where I had a couple drinks, just 2. That would be a big night for me overall. And it'll be, a couple of cranberry vodkas or something like that, Nothing real on the edge or anything like that. What else do we have? Edibles metabolize into a more psychoactive form of Delta 9 THC compound, Delta 11 THC, so they can get you much higher in general. You guys are like, this is just, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, bro. Just, you made it. All right, let me try it. That's all I know. The most impressive thing I saw in the preseason is almost flawless tackling. Weber is already paying dividends. I think so too. I really like what I'm seeing from Weaver. I think he's done an awesome job. All right, folks. We appreciate all of you out there as always. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hitting the like button. Please smash the hell out of the like button before you go. Whenever you watch, whatever video you watch, hit the like button. Donate to our show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can always make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. And we got a nice dip. So that's always appreciated. Visit our merchandise shop. We've got the QR code here. You can use it. You can also find the link on our YouTube page, Instagram, and Twitter. You can find it there. And, of course, support our program. That's a great way to supporting our program, buying shirts or hats that we've got there. And hopefully new stuff will be coming soon as we've got kind of turned the corner on our orders. So looking forward to that. We thank, of course, the great Sean Stanley, Herbie Lopez, who runs this place here at Toyota of Hollywood. And we thank him, and we thank, of course, Mr. Zinn for always being a big supporter of our platform. We will see you all tomorrow. Again in the afternoon, we'll be at Hialeah Park Casino, and that we will take off at 3 o'clock at Hialeah Park. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.